The 2025 NFL Draft is absolutely loaded at the safety position. There are 7 or 8 players who I realistically think could be taken in the first 2 rounds. It is an absolutely stacked class, but one of the players in this draft who has surprised me how high he was on many people's boards was South Carolina safety Nick Emmanwori. Admittedly, I have watched more tape on Emmanwori than I have on any other prospect in this draft class, and he is a ton of fun as a prospect. He's moved up my board quite a bit from where I had him in the preseason. Where does he rank in this absolutely loaded safety class? But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my draft guide and scouting reports, where I have done nearly 500 players on my big board that you guys can get more familiar with. It's some of my best work I've ever done, and I highly recommend checking it out. Leave a comment and let me know which players you guys would want to see me talk about in a future video, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Nick Emmanwori. Emmanwori has been very productive over the past couple of seasons for the Gamecocks. In 2023, he finished the season with 61 total tackles, 18 run stops, 2 interceptions, and 5 pass deflections on the year, and he was viewed pretty highly entering the season. So far in the 2024 year, however, he's been remarkable, posting 27 total tackles, 7 run stops, 2 interceptions, 2 pass deflections on a South Carolina defense that has been one of the best in all of college football, and Emmanwori is skyrocketing up draft boards. Emmanwori is a physical specimen at the safety position, and that's really the only way I can put it. He's 6'3", 227 pounds, and was originally recruited to play linebacker. However, due to some injuries, he was asked to play safety, and he immediately made an impact. He's a freak athlete, and during spring practices, he did 24 reps of 225 on the bench. He had a 42-inch vertical and a freakish broad jump as well, which all would have been the top of the combine in last year's safety class other than his broad jump. He is an absolute freak athlete with some unbelievable athletic tools, and he's going to light the combine up. Emmanwori is a very versatile defender. We mentioned he was originally recruited to play linebacker, and I think with his size, he could convert to linebacker at the NFL level. He plays a majority of his snaps close to the line of scrimmage in the box, and he is remarkable there. He's an excellent run defender who does a very nice job of coming downhill and making stops in the backfield. But he's also a very good coverage player as well, particularly in man-to-man. He plays very physical, and he does a nice job of sticking to receivers, and he has displayed incredible ball skills as well. He has 9 interceptions in his collegiate career, and he has a nose for the football. While I don't see incredible long speed on tape, he has phenomenal closing speed on the football, and he displayed fantastic burst and quickness in short areas, while also doing a very nice job of playing physical, while also not overdoing it and leading to penalties, which I absolutely love to see from my defensive backs, and his versatility is remarkable. Emmanwori is also an amazing tackler. On some of his 2023 tape, I noticed some bad angles and inconsistent technique, but this year, he blew me away with just how fantastic he was as a tackler. He is flying to the football, closing quickly, and landing some incredibly hard and powerful hits. His long arms help him wrap up with offensive players, and he has really improved as a tackler. His career missed tackle rate is 11.4%, which you really can't ask for anything better from the safety position. As amazing of an athlete and specimen that Emmanwori is, he does have a couple of areas of weakness that I'd like to see him clean up. His long speed was something that I was not really impressed by. I read somewhere that he ran a 4.3, and on the tape I watched, I just don't see that. I think he was great in the quick area burst situations. His short speed was impressive, but against faster players, he struggled down the field. On top of that, I think he's got really lackluster change of direction. He doesn't have the most fluid hips in the world, and I'd like to see him clean that up a little bit. I also think play strength is a bit up and down. While he did bulk up this offseason, Last year, he showed incredible inconsistency in terms of coming downhill and shedding blocks. It seemed like he was pushed around a lot at times last year for the Gamecocks, and there's been some instances this year as well where I think the play strength definitely needs to improve. The biggest area of concern overall, though, is his zone coverage. He has gotten better each and every year in zone, and he's made some really good plays this year in zone coverage. But there are still times where his eyes just get stuck on the quarterback, and he completely misses his assignment in zone coverage. There are things there that give you excitement because he has improved each and every year, but he still has to be more consistent and clean up some of his zone discipline. Emmanwori has been really awesome this season for South Carolina. He entered the season as my number 11 safety in the draft class, and he has moved up rapidly. His size and his tackling give him a leg up on some of the other top safeties in this draft class. While there are still some worries about his zone defense and some of his change of direction, he's my number 3 safety in the draft class. I've always had a soft spot for South Carolina defensive backs dating back to Cam Smith, and I think Emmanwori could be the next great one coming from Columbia. He is my number 55 overall player in the draft. Emmanwori is a very versatile player who could play both safety and linebacker at the next level. He is a wonderful tackler and such a great run defender that I think he will be an amazing box safety in the NFL. He has all the tools you look for when playing downhill, and he gives you some flexibility to mix in some man coverages and disguise him against tight ends and running backs, and I really think he can play just about anywhere on the defensive side of the football. Emmanwori reminds me a ton of New England Patriots safety Kyle Dugger. Dugger is basically an extra linebacker for the Patriots, but he's listed as a safety. He plays so much in the box and is primarily a player that they use to come downhill and defend the run, and he's been unbelievably productive for New England. He's not an amazing coverage player, but he has flashed ball skills and elite versatility all around the field, and I see a ton of similarities in Nick Emmanwori. Nick Emmanwori is a special athlete. He has size, length, can defend the run, can cover in man-to-man, and is an unbelievable tackler, and there are so many tools to love. He is one of my favorite players in this draft class, and he has been rising up boards drastically. And I believe that Nick Emmanwori will be a second-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.